morning, my notes are going to come from John chapter 12.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And verse 20. And I thank you all for following with me. All I'm doing is giving you my study notes. Amen. God bless you. Because when you read the scriptures, every time you read it, it reveals something new that you hadn't thought about. Let me tell you this. In John chapter 12, the Gospel of John, I'm just going to read one verse, and verse 21. The same, the Greeks, came therefore to Philip, which was of Bethsaida, of Galilee, and desired him, saying, Sir, we would see Jesus. I want to use for a subject there. The world needs to see Jesus. What is he asking at this juncture? If I may be able to think outside the box, I think there's a deeper question here. The Greeks come to Philip, and they say to him, we want to see Jesus. I think they were saying to him, we want to hear more than words about Jesus. We want to see him. We want to experience the reality of Jesus and all of his fullness. We need to see Jesus. What we want to see is that love that broke into history. The Word that became flesh. And John said, it dwelt among us. The Word is not supposed to become words. But the Word is to become flesh. In other words, I don't want you to tell me about love. I want to see love. I don't want you to tell me about compassion with words and other words, but I want to see you being compassionate. We just don't talk about love. We become love. The Word became flesh. In other words, what you talking about? We need to see it. I need to see a sermon better than I need to hear one. People need to see Jesus. And these men came to the disciples and said, you know what, you all have told us the words about Jesus, but we want to see him. And that's the problem in the world today. The Word has become words and not flesh. You can talk all day long, but every now and then people need to see something. James said if somebody comes to you and they say they're hungry, and you say, I'll pray for you, go and be ye filled, James said that don't do nothing for prayer. If he's hungry, he needs some bologna and cheese and some mayonnaise. If you're cold, use some sandwich spread. Words are not what John said. John said the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. Verbal proclamation does not move us like action. Verbal proclamation. Yes, words have power, but the greater power is in deeds. The secret to Jesus' life was that what he said matched what he did. Jesus talked about him being the resurrection and the life. And one day he walked down to Lazarus' grave. And Lazarus' sister told him, say, it's too late. And if you had come when we called you, my brother wouldn't have died. I just can't believe Mother talked to Jesus that way. Jesus said, well, just show me something. Show me where you talking and running your mouth, Mama. But show me where you live. I got to see him. And Jesus said, because you're looking at the resurrection. You're looking at the life. With Jesus, the word just didn't become other words. The word became flesh. That love that God has, Jesus told us, it is not God's design that any man should fail, but all be called unto life everlasting. It is that love that walked the streets of Galilee. Jesus did it. He showed us what love looked like. And he showed us that he was love. And listen to this. Jesus took love to places that love had never gone. I wish I could preach. Jesus took love to places that it had never gone. They told, in Jesus' day, they told him never to touch a leper. But the leper needed love just like everybody else. And Jesus touched the leper. And Jesus, this ain't the first time they had social distancing. They had it in Jesus' day. They said when you see a leper, you use social distancing. And Jesus went over and touched him anyway. He touched the leper. And that was something in that day that you didn't never do. Jesus saw a tax collector, a crook, sitting up in a sycamore tree. And you didn't eat with crooks and stuff like tax collectors. And Jesus told that crook, say, come on down. Come on down, I'm going to eat with you today. He ate dinner with tax collectors and prostitutes and outcasts. He took love. Well, love and that love never went. Because he wanted people to see the love of God. He took love. Because the word was made flesh and dwelt among us. He didn't just talk about it, he did it. And even and the good thing about love is that even when things turned against him, he did not cease to be loving. Though he was treated like a beast, he did not become a beast. He continued to be loving even until the end. And listen to him in his last hours, and I'm just about through. In the last hours, he prayed for the forgiveness of his execution. He told God, forgive them, because they really don't know what they do. If they knew who I was, if they knew what I could do, they wouldn't do it to me. He prayed for his executioners. He turned to the rebel on his right hand and said, you know what, today you're going to be with me in paradise. Today you're going to be in would be cared for. He said, John, that my mother. I wish she had told me to take care of his mother. Now you know that's a guaranteed ticket into heaven, all right? He stayed loving, even on the cross. He stayed loving right up to the end. And because of that kind of love, he died. And the main person, the centurion that was standing at the cross, said, surely this must have been the Son of God. Why? Because he saw love in the flesh. That's exactly what Jesus meant when he said, if I be lifted up from the earth, you won't have to do no drawing. I'll draw unto me. This was a love that reached out to the unloving, and a love that stayed loving no matter what is done to it. This is how we make an impact on the world when we talk about Jesus. Yes, sir. We show people Jesus in the flesh. Amen. It is when that love becomes flesh in us and lives its way through us into the world. I am a follower of Christ. Yes, sir. I heard this a long time ago, and I'm closing with this statement. If you were arrested and charged with the crime of being a Christian, will there be enough evidence in your behavior to convict you? With that, I want you to stand to your feet.